45. In the film, Corridor is shown for a short time on the B deck and the sounds of the crew as they search for Alien. In the final screenplay, the scene is much longer. In addition to the search, the crew concludes that when the alien cannot be killed due to acid blood, the alien must be caught and ejected to the space. Ash reminds of the limited time to operate on board. This refers to the amount of oxygen on board. There is no leaked material available for this scene. 46. Kane's funeral scene. The crew shoots Kane's body into space from airlock. Ridley Scott's original idea for Kane's funeral scene was to have two crew members dress up in spacesuits and using flying bedsteads, release Kane's body into space. Kane's body slowly drifts away. The rest of the crew are watching via monitors on the bridge. The scene was intended to show the Nostromo from the outside with the crew, so that again the movie viewer would get a sense of the size of the ship. For cost reasons, the scene was not filmed. 47. Regrouping scene. After Kane's death, the crew gathers in the cleaned mess room and discusses the situation. The discussion goes through what will be done to the alien and at the same time refers to the ship's malfunctioning internal camera system and limited resources. The crew decides to capture the alien before sleeping. Parker and Brett start making equipment to capture the alien. This long dialogue scene was cut from the original film.
See anything?
No.
No, it's gone below.
I don't know what it is. Mr. Ash, you're the scientific officer. I mean, you've got the goddamn thing on here to study it. So you've studied it. Now, what is it? I mean, how are we going to deal with it? You know?
No, Brett, I don't.
What? Well, use him as a host, some kind of incubator, right?
Yes.
Whatever the hell it is, we gotta catch it, we gotta get it off the ship, that's how. Eject it somehow.
Fine. How precisely do you propose to do that?
Flush it out, Ash, room by room, quarter by quarter.
That'll take forever.
Now, what do you expect? What are you gonna have? Some kind of alternative?
Our supplies are based on us spending a limited amount of time under hypersleep. You know that.
Well, I don't think we're going to go into the freezers without them running loose.
No, if they would have did the Kane's mask, for Christ's sake, we'd be sitting ducks.
Look, while we're sitting around here talking, that thing is running around this ship. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm scared. All right, so let's find a way to kill it.
We can't kill it. Its body acids will spill straight through the hull.
Then we put on pressure suits and we blow all the air out of the ship. That'll kill it.
Well, that is a terrific idea.
Well, whose idea was it to let that thing on board in the first place? It wasn't my idea.
Now, come on now, let's get down to what we gotta do. Just a minute!
Anywhere.
Now, I really hate to point this out, but it might be better off without oxygen. It's lived that way long enough.
We have another problem. How do we find it? We're blind on B and C decks.
What?
All the screens are out.
Great.
And what do we do when we find it?
Well, we trap it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, we trap it. I can put together some kind of a strong net, a cattle prod of some kind, you know?
Why don't we listen to
Oh,
this?
come on.
Wait a minute.
We got some better idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad. How long would it take you to do that?
I don't know, an hour? What, Parker?
Well, just give me a minute, huh, please? 20 minutes to an hour.
Well, you're on. Do it. 20 minutes to an hour. It's more like 2 or 3 with those two.
Right.
48. In the movie, only Ripley begins to doubt Ash's actions. Originally, Dallas also had doubts about Ash. In the final screenplay, after Kane's funeral, Dallas confronts Ash alone in the infirmary. Dallas accuses Ash of being aware of the embryo inside Kane. Dallas accuses Ash of knowingly protecting the embryo, even though something could have been done for the embryo. Ash denies Dallas's accusations, but Dallas remains suspicious. No footage of the scene has been leaked to the public. 49. Hieroglyph scene. A lot of narration related to the action of aliens has been omitted from the film. One omitted scene is related to the interpretation of hieroglyphs, which was in the original screenplay. Since the entire egg silo scene was left out of the film, Ridley Scott was forced to rethink the phases of aliens' life cycle. The egg silo scene would have left the explanation of aliens' life cycle aside, but now the matter had to be presented again somehow. The idea was that after Kane's death and the alien's birth, while Parker and Brett prepare the tools to capture the alien, the rest of the crew begins to investigate more of the hieroglyphs murals found and described on the derelict ship that depict the alien's life cycle. As they continued to study the strange pictograms, they would have realized that the next stage in the cycle would be the creation of more spores. This, in turn, forms the principle for aliens' life cycle and future events. The scene is extremely important to explain the upcoming cocoon scene, where Ripley finds Dallas and Brett being turned into eggs by the alien. The scene has effects on the plot and content of the entire film, and like the previous mural scene, it spoils the future plot. No footage of the scene has been leaked to the public. 50. Dallas and Ripley's sex scene. While Parker and Brett are working on the nets and cattle prods, Ripley confronts Dallas for relief. By relief, Ripley means sex with Dallas. In the final screenplay, the scene takes place in the Narcissus shuttle, in Ridley Scott's storyboards at the observation dome. Ridley Scott saw that sex and sexuality would be a natural central part of space travel. The mental pressure of space travel would be high, and sex would be one natural solution to relieve the pressure. Because of this, Ridley Scott wanted to adapt themes related to sexual behavior. The idea was that the crew would gradually bring relief to each other. In other words, have sex with each other. Because of this idea, sex is referenced in a few scenes in the film, especially involving Ash. Ripley Scott saw that sex drove the film's plot structure into relationships, for example between Dallas and Ripley. Ridley Scott eventually removed all context related to love and sex, as he saw that the film would quickly turn into a soap opera due to the relationship nuances. In addition, Ridley Scott wanted to keep the horror and suspense elements of the film, which he feared would be affected by the love and sex scenes. The sex scene between Ripley and Dallas was filmed in test shots between Sigourney Weaver and Ray Hassett, who played Dallas. The final shot of the scene has not been leaked to the public.
What's happening with those repairs?
They'll be finished in an hour. Look, I need some relief.
Why'd you wait until now?
You keep staring out at that thing long enough, they'll be peeling you off the walls. I've seen it happen.
We're the new pioneers, Ripley. We even get to have our own special diseases.
I'm tired of talking.
You waited too long.
Give it a try anyway.
51. The crew gathers and prepares to search for the alien. Brett introduces the cattle prod and Ash introduces the tracking device. 52. Ripley, Parker, and Brett start looking for alien on C deck. In the final screenplay, the search scene begins more widely. The first group is Lambert, Dallas, and Ash. They are searching the A deck. The other group is Ripley, Parker, and Brett. They are looking for alien on the B deck. Ripley's group detects a signal on a tracking device. The signal comes from below, causing Ripley, Parker, and Brett to move lower to C deck. From here, the scene continues as in the final film. It is assumed that footage of the larger search scene has been shot. No footage of the scene has been leaked to the public. 53. Ripley, Parker, and Brett search C deck, corridors and the equipment maintenance area for Alien until Ripley notices a signal on the tracking device. The trio follow the signal to a room where they prepare to capture the alien. The signal is caused by Jones the cat, which escapes from the room. Brett goes after the cat so that it does not cause a wrong signal to the tracking device in the future.
That kitty crap. Jones! Jonesy? Here, Jonesy. Meow. Meow. Jonesy?